you know that you have a program in your hand to use as a souvenir, and that you can't read the things in the dark anyway. I have to tell you what's going on. That you can tell we've learned a lot here, can't you? Okay, these guys came to me at the beginning of the year knowing nothing about a musical instrument. Half the time not even knowing which one was called what. So I think they've done a lot of good things. Liturgical fanfare was the first piece. We know that a fanfare is an attention getter. And the second little piece is we have a little story behind it that's called The Dark Crusader. And we've kind of invented a little fictitious character called the Dark Crusader. And their dresses in black and it's kind of evil and this kind of stuff. The way the story starts, he's way off in the distance and he's kind of walking slowly toward our village, and we're so scared of it, you know, you can feel the tension building, and the music builds to go with it, and of course the music gets louder and louder and louder as he gets closer and closer, and when it reaches the point where he's at the village, he quickly plunders the village, and the music is loud and furious, and he walks off and the music fades out. The kids requested discipline from when they heard it last year, so we hope you enjoyed as much as they do. The Dark Crusader.
so nervous with them, I get just worn out. But the byword of the last few years in education has been multiculturalism. That's a fancy word. Just says you got to teach things that are of other nations and other cultures, this kind of stuff, in whatever subject you teach, whenever possible. In band, of course, the method books are coming out with more and more little tunes in it from other cultures. And in concert music, we get a lot of the same, but this particular arrangement that's coming up is reminiscent of the Aztec Indians, called Aztec Dance. And while it's not an original, it's written in the style of what you might hear from the Aztec Indians of Mexico. So, Aztec Dance. this next little piece. It scares the beekeepers out of me to play it. It's probably the toughest one we got. And I picked it because for some strange reason I was blessed with a large trombone and tuba section this year, and they're my, the anchor of my low brass section. Got some pretty capable kids in there, so we're going to do a little boogie-woogie, a little stylistic stuff. It's low brass boogie. Before they play their last piece, we'll let them kind of rest their chops a second and kind of celebrate a little bit, if you don't mind. As soon as I find all my paperwork, got some special recognitions I want to do here. And I see I misplaced one of my papers. You wait right there. We're very informal tonight, so I'll do this without the list that I had prepared. Next week, there's a very special event that some of these guys are going to take part in. It's a kind of an invitation-only event. It's called Elementary Band Clinic. And in this particular event, students are selected from all of the 6th grade bands in our district, which covers around 23, 24, 25 schools in the southeastern Georgia area. And they gather these kids together on a school day, and I know some of my kids hate that. They don't miss school that day, but they gather those kids together on a school day, and they rehearse for the better part of the day, and then they put on a concert. When I first told them about this, they were like, no, I just don't know if we can do this, but they'll get there and they'll find out it's pretty cool. I don't have all those names, but when I see them standing, I'll be able to tell you who everybody is. So if you're one of those who's going with me on that Waycross trip to elementary band clinic, would you just stand up for a moment? And that's a pretty good number of kids right there. I have my entire horn section going, Jason Hanley and Nick Clark, Sarah Leggett. On tuba back there, I have Jerome Dowling and Patrick Thigpen. Let's see, I should have 4 trombones going, I think. Nate Coffey, Kevin Johnson, Ray Chase, and Claire Wilcher. My entire tenor sax section of Christina Oceanbean has been selected. And yeah, isn't that great? Okay. And working my way around to the clarinets here, I've got Sarah Roberts, Ashley Scott, and Courtney Smith. And Sarah Wilsey is standing up representing the trumpets. And there's another one back there, Gabe Hopple. He's a Martin Kentucky kid that I invited along for the ride tonight because I just wanted a little extra rah-rah trumpets for here. And flutes, all 3 of you going with me? Great. We got Kristen Grantham and hold on, it's coming to me, Lisa McCarter and Melissa Sawatsky, okay? So why don't you give them a nice round of applause. Now I'm going to ask Miss Taylor to help me with this next little piece of stuff here, okay? Miss Taylor, of course, directs the high school band. And I've got some certificates I've got to get out. I've never done this at a band concert before, but you know, it's never quite happened this way before either. Some years ago, I began to realize that in the world of beginning band, we were doing things all wrong. See, when you go into a reading class and they read a story, then they might take a test on that story, but then they'll also have to read another thing by themselves to the teacher to prove that they can read. Well, in band class, so often what happens is the class works on a tune, and then everybody's tested on the tune. And so you wonder sometimes if they're reading it or they play it by ear. So I came up with a little book that I wrote called the Book of Pass-Offs. And I never teach out of that book. They have to play out of it for their test. And it is possible for a kid to pass the whole book off in the course of the year if they set their mind to it. I've never had more than 3 kids do it in the course of the year. I've got a bunch of them this year, so I want to give them a little something for it. So as I call your name, would you come on up and take the certificate and go let Miss Taylor give you a little something? Mom, if you want to come up and click their picture, it's perfectly fine, and you can wait till after the concert. Melissa Sawatsky finished the pass-off book probably the day before yesterday. And Lindsay Rabian. Lindsay finished it this morning. Okay. And Sarah Roberts, one of my clarinet players. I've threatened these guys within an inch of their life if they fold these things. Because, Mom, I know you want to put these away with their keepsakes. The certificate reads, this is to certify that so-and-so has been awarded the Director's Award for Excellence for completing the Book of Pass-Offs. In this case, it's Chelsea Hall. Kayla Moody. Miss Taylor just asked me where's all the boys. And I think there's some boys that have done this. We talked at length about setting goals early in the year, and some of these guys decided that was their goal. Their big goal was to do that. So, Juanita Holsey. Miss Taylor is giving them a little Standard of Excellence pen that's very pretty. It goes along with the book. Miss Taylor's loving this because she's thinking, this is the Wayne County High School Band in a few years. Here's a boy in the bunch, Nick Clark, French horn, come on up, baby. we have a tuba player, Patrick, big fan. Now I have two more that receive a special certificate. I'm going to tell you about this. Not very many people ever get this one because not very many people finish the pass-off book before the Christmas holidays. One of the perks that goes with finishing the pass-off book before the Christmas holidays is you get a certificate named after you given to the next guy who does the same thing. About 4 years ago, Kyle Fancher did it, and so the next one to come along the following year was Derek Reskowski, and he got the Kyle Fancher Award. And now getting the Derek Reskowski Award is going to be a Martha Puckett student named Eric Fancher, but following that, Nick Coffey, you get the Eric Fancher Award for Excellence. I am particularly proud of anybody who has the decency enough to do that. I think it's a wonderful accomplishment. Shortly after Nick finished his, Ashley Scott gets the Nick Coffey Award for Excellence. I hope you don't think that I'm just real proud of just these students. I just happen to be proud of the particular notable effort that they put out. You can tell by listening to the band that there's been an awful lot of good effort from everybody. And I told my brass class I had almost given up on them around Christmas time. I just couldn't believe they weren't getting it. And for some reason, they came back from a Christmas holiday and it was like a changed class. And I'm proud of all these kids. And you'll give one more hand before we leave. For our final selection, we're going to take you back to the days of malt shops and jukeboxes, and it's a little piece called Hot Fudge Sundae, and I'm going to ask you to do something for me. If you've got one of these kids on stage and you brought a camera or a video camera, you can't get many good shots from where you are, but I'd like you to come up here with your camera onto the stage, kind of behind the podium here, and while we're playing, you take all the shots you want, and I'm as serious as I can be. This is your only chance to get a good shot at the one and only beginning band concert. So while we play Hot Fudge Sundae, the stage is yours.
You give us a couple of minutes for our stage change here. We're going to take these kids off and put them up here in the reserve seating section. And we're going to bring on the 7th and 8th grade band in just a minute.
Let's go back.